Hello, everyone. It looks like I have 8 people. Merry Christmas to everyone. Just kind of getting set up here. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day. And if today's a little bit tougher for you, then I hope this little live stream brings you a little bit of joy today. I'm just making sure that everything is working here. I'm just going to turn on a little bit of a crazy morning here, and I'll explain in a second. I just want to make sure that this live chat is okay, and it looks like the audio is on. So can you guys hear me okay? Just waiting for any Merry Christmas from Ottawa. Merry Christmas. Can you hear me okay? Is audio? I've done like a whole new setup with everything, and I did a little bit of a trial run a couple days ago. Sounds great. Okay, looks like you guys can hear me okay. So yeah, I started, or I do have another new setup for my camera. Before I was using my cell phone and I was running off of Wi-Fi. So now I have my regular DSLR camera, and I have it plugged into the wall internet. I don't know all these technical terms, but also it is connected through a capture card, a video capture card. So the audio should be better and the video should be better. So yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good Christmas. I'm going to say it's pretty quiet here. I'm going to say that lightly because it's been actually a little bit of a crazy morning. Don't really have any like family plans today. All the kids, well, my 2 kids opened up their Christmas presents this morning, and we actually had a ton of snow last night. I think we got like between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. So I kind of lost track of time, and I was outside snow blowing for the past couple hours. I was helping another neighbor across the street. Yeah, it was a lot of snow. So I was outside doing that for a couple hours, and then I came in and started getting things set up and lost track of time. I have a super old laptop, and it was, I'm not kidding, it was doing updates for probably about 45 minutes. And I just got into the YouTube live screen like 5 minutes ago. So I was starting to panic a little bit, thinking that I was going to have to maybe bump back the live for like half an hour or something while this piece of junk loaded up. So yeah, thankfully everything started working. And just as I was about to hit live, my sister from Saskatoon called. I said I would to call her back. So a little crazy, a little bit of a crazy morning, even though we really haven't done anything. So a nice thing as well, my kids, they're 8 and 12. They didn't wake up at like 6 o'clock this morning. They actually slept in. So I was the first one up this morning, about 8:45. And then they heard me making my morning coffee, and then we opened up presents, and then I was just straight outside cleaning up the driveway and the deck in the backyard so the dogs can do their stuff outside. So I'm exhausted. So I'm just going to run through the chat comments here. So I really only have a couple things that I want to do today. Mainly, I just want to go through the chat and see what you guys are up to. And like I said, hopefully you're having a good day. And I know sometimes Christmas can be a little bit tough for some people. So yeah, hopefully we can just have a couple laughs in the chats and all that kind of stuff and just talk about plant stuff. So if you guys want to talk about anything, if there's anything you want to see, yeah, just let me know in the chats. I do have my Anthurium regale, which I want to take out of perlite. It's in like this really small orchid pot, so I want to pot it in something a little bit bigger. And I picked up this Mexican pottery pot the other day from Winners. It was like 15 bucks, I think. So I love these, and it does have a little drain hole in the bottom. Okay, so with my previous 2 streams, this is stream number 3. Again, I keep wanting to call it a podcast. The live chat kind of got away from me, so I want to pay a little bit more attention to the live chat. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. We finally have a little bit of a break from that absolutely brutal cold. I think it was like minus 30 like every day plus the wind chill. And I know a lot of people in the States that aren't used to this type of weather, they have been yeah, receiving all that cold air that we had So hopefully you guys are staying warm down south. Lots of Merry Christmases here. So Merry Christmas to everyone. We have a really small, or I have a really small family. So really doing nothing today. Kind of went and saw my parents yesterday and did that kind of stuff. So we had Christmas supper, and we'll just be, well, there's a turkey in the oven right now just for my family, my kids, and my wife. So yeah, I'm just going through some of the comments here. Hello from Sweden. Merry Christmas. It's COVID Christmas here. I put out a post on YouTube and Instagram about this live feed or this podcast that I wanted to do. And I did get actually quite a few comments about people being sick and stuff like that. I haven't made much content lately because I had COVID as well for the first time a couple weeks ago. Same with my son. We were downstairs here in the basement in our little isolation area. I brought my camping air mattress downstairs here. So I slept on an air mattress for like a week downstairs here. And we went through the house and that sort of thing, but we just stayed away from my wife and daughter who weren't sick. But yeah, it sounds like just everybody's sick right now. If it's not like the cough, cold, influenza type stuff, it's COVID. So if you are currently isolating or whatever it is you're doing, then I feel your pain. Okay, so yeah, it looks like there's finally at freezing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, you guys get freezing temperatures down there in Oklahoma? I don't even know. I don't think it gets cold down there, but all I know is it gets really cold here in Saskatchewan. And now we have snow. We just got a break from the cold, and then we just get dumped with snow. So that was nice. Merry Christmas. I'm glad you guys are feeling better. Yeah. I didn't have a fever or anything like that. I was really tired. I had a headache and a bit of a cough. My son, he was pretty sick for a couple of days with fever and stuff like that. So if you guys are feeling sick, I hope you guys get better soon. Just got out of quarantine yesterday, first time for me. Yeah, everybody's sick. And it sucks because, yeah, you have to cancel Christmas plans and dinners, and yeah, it's not fun. Florida. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So thank you for that. Last time I did a podcast. I keep wanting to say podcast. It's not a podcast, live stream. There's people asking about super chats and stuff like that. And I didn't know anything about it. I'm new to this live stream type stuff. And yeah, someone was asking about these super chats or whatever it's called, and I had no idea what they're talking about. So I had to do some research in the last few weeks here, and so I found how to turn those on. And yeah, TXCan157 just said Merry Christmas, Jeff from Texas. So Merry Christmas and thank you. Crazy, I appreciate that. No fever, massive migraine. Yeah, it was weird. I had a headache, but I had the opposite of a fever. I couldn't stay warm for 2 days. I had my hoodie on, I had blankets all curled up in my little air mattress. Oh, it was like camping downstairs. Great channel, thank you. Ice Age in Sweden, yeah. Oh, and everyone's sick there too. Oh, it's crazy. This year is just absolutely crazy. Hope you guys aren't very sick. Beverly says Mom is turning 92 December 31st. Wow, that's crazy. Is she still living on her own? Is she pretty with it? I know a lot of people, they still have they're in their own seniors condo or complex, and even some people that age are still in their home. 92, that's amazing. Yeah. Got a bunch of grow lights for Christmas. Sam, what kind of grow lights did you get? And do you like them? Have you set them up and have you used them yet? 25 years, New Year's Day. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Do you guys have any plans today? Are you guys traveling or anything like that? I know here in Canada, and I think the States too, like it's been nothing but storms. And I know Vancouver and Toronto, those are pretty much the major hubs here for like travel and that sort of thing. So if those two places are experiencing extreme weather, then it kind of trickles down to some of the smaller cities like where I am here in Saskatchewan. I know there's like tons of delays for travel to hot destinations and stuff like that. So we'll be going to Mexico here in a few weeks, and I can't wait just to get away from the cold and all the snow and that sort of thing. So any of you guys doing any traveling just to get away from winter? No travel. It's too full of people out there. We haven't traveled for quite some time. Well, obviously during COVID, no one really traveled, but we would try and do family vacations once a year. And we actually went to Cuba, I think for probably about the last 7 years as we've been going to Cuba. So I've been to Mexico a couple times, and I've been on some cruises and that sort of thing. So I think we'll try Mexico this year. So that's all booked, and yeah, I can't wait. We're a little leery of traveling just because obviously we haven't been on a plane, so I don't know if people are still like, you know, asking, or if we have to mask, which whatever, it's fine, but I just don't know the procedures. I might have to do a little bit of research. But if any of you have traveled, oh, someone just got back from Mexico. What were the airports like? What like, were you still masking and that kind of thing? How do I keep my plants alive? Sorry, I don't know what that last word is. Okay, so just going through here. Looks like there's a few people with COVID for sure. She's living on, Beverly says her 92-year-old mom is living on her own. Oh, I lost that. From Michigan to Ohio. In a wooded area. That's my dream. I wish I was able to acquire, I'm always looking at acreages and land and that sort of thing. That's kind of my dream, to buy that piece of land and then move there one day. But where I am, it's in the Canadian prairies. We have lots of nice areas to go hiking, like in the valley and that sort of thing. But to the, I guess, more northern parts of the province is where all the forested regions are. So probably about 2.5, 3 hours away is typically where we do our camping, up in those areas. So, okay, I'm just gonna kind of go through some of these chats here a little bit. Friend just went to Mexico and was delayed getting back due to the storms in BC. Yeah, I saw like can't remember if it was on Reddit or something like that. People were stuck in Cancun for like 4 days because they couldn't get back to Canada from Mexico. So I hope all of that kind of backlog of travel is cleared out before we go, and it's just smooth sailing, or flying, I guess. But do you have your grow lights on timers? I have all of my grow lights on timers. That's kind of a I don't even know, a mess of wires. I've cleaned it up recently, but all of my grow lights are on timers for 14 hours. So I think they turn on at 8 in the morning, and then they go off at 10 at night. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Anthurium regale. I bought this in the spring off of Facebook Marketplace, and the lady that I bought it from, it had like one giant massive leaf, and it was being water propagated. It had a really thick, kind of older stem. And when I brought it home, I put it in, obviously I kept it in the container of water, but I tried to do that soil water displacement method. So I guess the concept with that is you have your container of water, and I filled it like with half soil. And then each day you just add a little bit more soil in there until there is no more water. That's supposed to be a little bit easier on the roots. It's supposed to transition it a little bit better to soil instead of just taking it right from water. and putting it in soil. Well, it didn't work for me. It basically rotted the roots right away. I knew it was rotting because the leaf was dying really fast. So I took it out of the soil, and I put it in perlite. I chopped up the chonk as well into 3 separate sections. So I'm hoping to get multiple plants from that. I'll show you one of the chonks or whatever it's called here in a second. But this actually grew really quick in perlite, and now it's kind of outgrowing the pot. So I want to put it in something a little bit bigger, and I'm going to be putting it in a soil like an aroid mix, something a little bit chunkier. 41 people. Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas if you're just joining right now. So I was explaining to everyone at the start here, I had like a ton of, not technical difficulties. I'm dealing with like an old laptop, so made it on time. Have I thought about starting a Patreon? Yes. I haven't really done any research on that. I always have to research things. That's just what I do. But I still work full time. Like I go back to work tomorrow, and I usually, like, I work 5 days on and then I get 5 off. It's a 5-5-4 rotation. So it's been pretty busy lately. So I'm a little leery about starting a Patreon, just because I know you have to upload extra content, and right now, just with the busyness of Christmas and travel and all that kind of stuff, I'd hate to start a Patreon account and then just not have any content. I'm trying to keep up with the stuff here on YouTube, and I do have one video kind of in the queue, which I think I'll upload it, or it's scheduled for in the new year here, just because I know everyone's busy with Christmas and Boxing Day, and then it'll be New Year's and that kind of thing. So I have it scheduled for, I think it's like first week in January, and it's a pothos water experiment. It's actually pretty cool. It was pretty surprising results, so I'm looking forward to that video. I might release it sooner. Just let me know if you guys are busy over the holidays, and if you want another video, or if you want me to hold it until the first week in January. It says Merry Christmas, Northern Plantucky. Says Merry Christmas. Did you manage to pick up that philodendron squamiferum? I did. After, I can't remember. It was my interesting philodendron video. Some of the plants that I've been really interested in are ones that have like really interesting petioles and that sort of thing. And I knew there was the squamiferum. I think that's how you say it. It has the fuddy pesiole. I'm going to get it. I just picked it up. I was actually going to repot that one in this video, and then I completely forgot. But this one has a few rougher looking leaves, but it has gotten a new leaf, a couple new. It looks like it's a few different stems in this one. So I'm going to have to maybe chop it up. But look at these fuzzy petioles. That's crazy. It's so weird. Here's the newest leaf. And it's gotten a new leaf here, and it's getting another one. So such a cool plant. And it was only $20. And I think there's maybe one left from the shop that I bought it from. So I was happy to pick that up. That's such a cool plant. I've been I don't know, in that video I said, I pay attention to like the back of the leaves, the petiole, and all that kind of stuff. And this one is pretty sweet. Someone says they have a friend that's immune compromised, so I'm asking. That's well, good on you. That's better to be safe than sorry for that kind of stuff if they have underlying issues. So top dressing moth has helped so much. Yeah, someone said that they just top dressed all their anthuriums. And that's what I've done with these. And the nice thing about these, like when you top dress an anthurium, is when like this right now, it's like really crunchy. When the moss is crunchy, most likely the soil is going to be pretty dry as well. So if the moss on top is crunchy, then that's how I know when to water my anthurium. So yeah, it just holds into moisture. So I can't remember where I heard that trick. I know it's pretty popular, but it was probably like on Instagram or something like that. The regale was your wish list plant. Yeah, it kind of made me a little bit nervous at first just because of like how massive these leaves get. And I really, like, I'm still learning about anthuriums, and like, it's not the greatest looking leaf. And a lot of them, like a lot of mine right now, are starting to lose some leaves. Like even downstairs here, like my alocasia, here's my Frydek. Not looking the greatest, but the stem is still nice and firm. So it's just slowing down, but it's what they do. Here's my summer glory, which was also in that philodendron favorites video, and it's getting a new leaf. I can't believe that a leaf will like turn out normal after being so scrunched up like that. Like, look at that thing. That thing's just, yeah, I don't know. I've been spraying it down just to hopefully help it unfurl a little bit here, but that thing is just squished. Do you fertilize when you grow in perlite? Yeah, I basically treat my perlite plants exactly the same as if it was in soil. So I'll still water when it's dry, and I'll fertilize pretty much on the same routine. And I just let it soak and come out the bottom of the drain holes. Sometimes I'll put it in like a Tupperware container and just let that perlite and the roots soak up moisture if it's been really dry. This one, it's gotten a little bit droopy a couple times, but just give it some water, put it in a container of water with a little bit of fertilizer. Like I'll dilute it, maybe like half of the regular strength, and I'll just let it sit there for 10, 15 minutes. Just let those roots and perlite soak up the water and nutrients. Merry Christmas from Mexico City. Merry Christmas, Nora. I'll be down we're going to try Puerto Vallarta in a few weeks. So I'm really excited about that. Wendy says she just picked up a Hoya. I don't know how to say that. Ciroc. Is that how you say it? Oops, my slipper just fell off. I think you should just turn on memberships here and keep it all on one platform. See, I don't even know what you're talking about with memberships. I'll have to do a little bit of research with that too. Yeah, I don't even know what a membership would give you. So I have to, yeah, do a little bit of research with that. So like, it's this whole YouTube thing, other than just like filming videos and editing and that sort of thing, everything else aside from that, it's such a learning curve. I feel old. I'm not, I don't know all these memberships and Patreon and all that kind of stuff. Someone put lightweight pop put or top dress their allocations as well. This is the only one I think that is like my Frydek. This is not doing the greatest. I think all my other ones are doing okay. I'll show you a couple. Like my Gagiana, I think it's called the Aurea. This one's doing good. It's getting a new leaf. And then this is, I don't even know which one it is, but it's just your typical elephant ear, like the one that gets just like huge in the winter, or sorry, in the summer when you put them outside. Yeah, this was a little side shoot from that one of my outdoor ones, and I just plopped it in the pot, and it's doing good. So most of my other allocations are doing fine. I got a couple of little Regal shields here as well. This one's awesome just because of the back of the leaf, like just a nice purple. The video is a little bit laggy right now. Is everything okay still, like audio? Just want to make sure I'm not losing the feed. Someone said, I hope your thrips situation on your philodendron Brazil is over. It had thrips about, I would say, a year ago, and I sprayed it down, that sort of thing. But the only thing, well, two things, I guess. I don't know which one was effective or if they kind of work together. I did use beneficial bugs or beneficial mites on all my plants. So I get these little packs, you hang them on the plant, and over like a couple days, once they kind of acclimate to your conditions, then these little mites, you can see them on the leaves. They're pretty cool. And they'll just kind of go around your houseplants and take care of thrips and any soft-bodied insects. And then I also used systemic, the granule insecticide, which you put in soil. You can't buy it here in like in Canada. There's a Facebook group that I follow. One of the ladies that runs the group, I guess she has a store or something in BC, and then she imports this systemic. So it's not illegal to use in Canada, but you can't find it anywhere. It's not sold in stores. So if any of you out there want to send me some systemic, that would be great. Okay. Purple Haze 97 just had a squammy and a Monsanto delivered. They died a horrible death during delivery. Did they freeze? Yeah, that's not good. I would be upset. Merry Christmas from Ohio. Merry Christmas, Amy. What do you do with your collection before you go on trips? Any special water setups? Actually, that's one thing I've been kind of thinking of. Just because I have a lot of plants, I kind of want to get someone that knows how to water plants properly instead of like our neighbor or a friend or something that just comes in and waters them all. But there's one tip that Tech Plant actually said, and I didn't even really think about it, and it's absolutely genius. If you are going away for an extended period of time and you're worried about the plants like drying out, he said just turn off some of your grow lights or pull them away from a window. That way they're not using as much sunlight to photosynthesize. So that means they're not using as much water. So your plants really shouldn't dry out as long as you take away some of the lights. Like I might turn off most of these and I'll just have the track light on. So maybe I'll try that, but that's a genius hack if you're going away for like a week or something and you don't have someone to come water your plants. We'll have people like checking on our house, but I don't know if I necessarily want them touching my plants, but I guess I really don't have a choice. I might lose some, or I might get a bunch of yellow leaves. So what I'll do is, or what I've done in the past is I'll basically try and water them the day before or kind of the night before. And I'll try and do it that way. I know that's not possible with all of them when you have like probably a couple hundred plants, but I'll try and leave them or let them get dry until kind of the day before kind of thing. Audio is still good. I'm just reading the alocasia elephant ear. Do you start the bulbs inside or direct to soil when it warms up? This is the first year that I actually went out and bought some alocasia bulbs from one of our garden centers in the spring, and I just stuck them in a pot, and they actually grew really fast, just from not only the sunshine outside, but the heat. Once it started to heat up, those things just kind of exploded. So there was a few of them that actually just sprouted little side shoots, and I just cut those off and I transferred them inside. I cut them all down in the fall once it started getting cold, and I took them out of their pots and I removed all the roots, and they're actually just sitting in my laundry room. I didn't want to bring the plants inside because this year and last year it's been really bad for thrips outside. So there was like spider web on there, and I know there was thrips at one point. So I didn't want to bring the big elephant ears inside, so I chopped them off and kind of let them dry out. And then I just kept them in the garage. And then once it got freezing, then I just brought them inside. Someone saw fungus gnat babies. Oh, I think my video just froze. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry, I'm just kind of catching up here. The feed kind of got away on me here. Someone said, "Oh, Merry Christmas from Sweden. Bought my very first anthurium yesterday, Clarinervium." That's a good one. I think that's the one that I actually bought first as well. Don't let the soil dry out. I have mine. I don't even know where it is. I had to move a bunch of plants just to accommodate my laptop here, but I think it's over there somewhere. Yeah, for anthuriums, it's a little bit of a learning curve. You really have to, I guess, pay attention to the conditions in your environment, because obviously mine are going to be different than yours wherever you are. But here in the Canadian prairies in the winter, like our indoor temperature or our indoor humidity gets super dry here. If I didn't have humidifiers downstairs, it would probably be around like 30%. I have 2 humidifiers going, and today it's 40. Well, that's backwards. Okay, so anyways, that's it's 41% humidity and it's 21 degrees downstairs. So even that's pretty low. I don't want to keep pumping the humidity downstairs here just because I won't let it get more than 50% for indoors here. I just don't want any issues with mold and that sort of thing. But I do have a fan just for air circulation down here. So when I have the humidifiers going, it's not just, sticking to the walls or whatever. I don't know how mold and stuff starts, but I know air circulation is important if you have humidifiers in your house. So I just have an oscillating fan downstairs here just for air circulation. I haven't even done any plant stuff yet. I've just been chatting away here. It said they had for the dead plants. It said it had insulation and a heat pack. Oh, the condensation. Yeah, it probably just froze too. That sucks. I have had plants ship in the past in winter, but like it's been super cold here. I'd be scared that they would like freeze instantly. When you go to Mexico, will you be looking into plant tour of some local plant nurseries or natural habitat areas with tropicals? I don't like. I honestly really haven't had any time to sit down and look at what's in the area. I will definitely be looking around the resort and that kind of thing for the plants that they have there. And my sister, she's actually coming with us, and my mom's actually going to be there. They got a condo for 2 months, I guess, for January and February, so they'll be down there. So it's kind of like a little family trip, and they've done hikes and stuff like that. So I know there's a couple areas that they want to show. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the tropical plants and stuff down there. So, okay. So I haven't taken this anthurium out since I put it in this perlite. So I'm just going to dump this here for now. Ship them dry. Interesting. That would be a good way to do it. If you're shipping plants in the winter, ship them dry. Okay. So here's what the root system looks like. That's kind of weird. It didn't really go down to the very bottom of the pot. It just kind of went into a circle pattern just in the middle, which is crazy. And it'll fit nicely in this new pot. So it's got a lot of room to grow. You know what? I might even be able to take another slice of this. This is an old chunk, and you can see it's been propagated a number of times, so it looks like it had a leaf there before. With the ones that I have in my perlite prop box, I just slice them up in between kind of 2 nodes, and I really didn't pay attention to the growing eye. So there was one, which I'll show here in a second, where I sliced through the growing eye, and it still actually produced a new plant, but I don't know if you can have like a spent. I know there's some stuff out there saying, some aroid nodes can be a spent node. Like if you buy a Monstera node, it can be spent, or it's not going to grow into anything. So I don't know if that can be for anthuriums here as well, but I love these roots. Like they're big, thick, chunky roots. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to put it in. So I'm using a combination of orchid mix, and then I have some soil down here as well. Hopefully I don't get my computer filled with soil. Yeah, I know a lot of people, or there's a few shops that I browse around on that they don't even do winter shipping, just because it's probably more of a headache for them when they get like damaged plants. Just logging into work and happy for the live. Merry Christmas, Katie. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of the orchid bark just into here. I'm going to reuse the perlite as well, just kind of mix it in. And for, I want to breathe in the perlite dust. I'm going to mix in just a little bit of soil just because I want it to stay nice and chunky. The reason why I think plants do so well in perlite is because of the airflow. The roots can breathe, they can get oxygen, whereas if you put it in a a really dense soil, then it just can lead to root rot. So in -2, they got a Marissa says she got a fiddle a week in the mail. -20, didn't even drop a leaf. Whoa. You're doing something right, because if you just look at a fiddle leaf fig, they drop some leaves. Okay, so just going to add a little bit of soil. And I'm just going to, like, it's, oh, dusty. It's just a nice chunky mix like that. Actually, I'm just going to dump it in. Doesn't have to be. I have another plant, the silver sword, on a plank. And I'll show you guys here in a second. It's not doing much. The lower leaves, they're not looking good. So I might pull that one off the plank, and then I'll use the plank for, I bought the Epiprenum pinnatum yellow flame. They're gorgeous. So I want to try and grow that on the plank instead. So I've given that silver sword enough time, and I've kind of ran out of patience with it. Okay, this one's going to get a good soaking as well because it's absolutely bone dry. I didn't even really have much time today to prep, so I don't even know where my watering stuff is. Ordinary Plant Girl, Merry Christmas. Do you ever shower with your plants? No. Do you? I made like a little plastic plant shower type thing. But yeah, I don't really bring my plants into, or I don't use like the shower hose here, because we have hard water and I have a water softener. So I add salt into that, so that softens our water. So I don't water my plants with the shower nozzle or anything like that, just because over time it has the or may have the tendency to build up salts in your soil, and then what is yeah, I lost my train of thought. You got me all distracted here for that's funny. So yeah, I don't use the shower nozzle just because it'll over time it may build up salts in the soil. And your friend showers with golden pothos. Only BC the shower has a window. Okay, so apparently people do shower with their plants. I don't. I just made a little plant shower. Yeah, it's got, if you haven't seen it, it's just like a big Tupperware bin. And then I just made kind of a backing for, yeah, it just makes it a lot easier for me to water all my plants here in this area instead of taking them to the shower, where I do have like a big spray bottle, which I use filtered tap water, not the shower water because of the softened salt. Yep, Brianna says they definitely her and her plants take separate showers. So Minnesota. Fun little fact, my grandfather was born in Minnesota, St. Paul's. And then he lived in Canada his whole life. Where's my pencil? I've only driven through Minnesota once. So I went to a music festival with some friends down in Milwaukee, actually, in Wisconsin. So that was a fun trip. It was like, how many of us? Like 6 or 7 of us. We had this like rental van. We drove it to the States, and it came back in one piece, but we were missing a headlight because we hit a bird. Not good. The Moody Alocasia amazonica. Are you struggling with that one? That's one I don't have. Big Strong Greg, guy that showers with his plants, said Canada and then puke face. I guess you're not a fan of Canada. Maybe, I don't know. Would you consider hamburger helper to be a good Christmas dinner? Heck yeah. KD craft dinner. That's macaroni. If that's what you're having today, Ben, nice work. Milwaukee. That was a cool city. Was that my bird? I don't remember what type of bird it was, but it was kind of jammed up in the headlight. Greg, you have some interesting questions. McDonald's. We actually, I don't want to say go there lots. We don't go there lots. We have our like takeout nights. Yeah. But what I always get is a Big Mac meal. And then if I'm feeling extra hungry, I'll get 6 chicken nuggets on the side. And my kids, they get a Happy Meal. My son gets a quarter pounder. So yeah, Big Mac. I just tried that barbecue Carolina burger. It was okay. Definitely not the Big Mac status. Okay, we're veering off topic here. We're supposed to be talking about plants, but we're talking about Big Macs. Ben, apparently a fan of a Big Mac. Turkey or ham for Christmas? Turkey. I have a turkey upstairs right now, but if you're having a turkey, there has to be some specific items that go with the turkey. You can't, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm fussy, but when you have turkey, whether it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas, I always like to have cabbage rolls, and you must have a good bun or bread. That's a must. What is smoking behind me? It's a humidifier down there. I have a little one on the floor here because I have a bunch of plants down here. And then I had to move. I have a larger one that's right here where my computer is. So I had to move that one. That's on the floor. I turned it off right now, but I got soil on my face. Okay, I gotta find a container for water, and then I'm gonna water my anthurium here. I lost my watering can, or my watering box. Okay, so I don't even know if this will fit in here. Actually, I'm just gonna dump this water in there. The humidifier, bad for drywall. I just kind of touched on that. I don't let the humidity levels get too high in my house. It usually gets really dry here in the Canadian prairies, and downstairs here, That's backwards, but it's 41% humidity right now. The key to having humidifiers in your house is having good air circulation. So I have an oscillating fan down here that just, yeah, it helps with the humidity and just air movement, air circulation. So if you have humidifiers, make sure you have good airflow as well. You water your plants with a McDonald's cup. You're a big fan of McDonald's, it sounds like. Yeah, I don't want mold or anything like that. So I will, these plants, they can dry up before I deal with any mold issues. They have to, yeah, they're just gonna have to deal with the humidity levels. The larger one I have going like pretty much 24 hours a day. I have to keep refilling it, but this winter so far, it hasn't gotten like higher than 45. So I also do have an air exchange system in this house. So it continuously replenishes like fresh air from outside. So it pulls in fresh air and it vents out air from the house. So it just recirculates. So I know that drops the humidity levels a lot here as well. Greg's lips are dry. Get some lip chap. But if it's really cold, 4% humidity will ice up all your windows. Yeah, another, like, I actually did have a little bit of condensation on the windows upstairs. Nothing downstairs here. I just had like a thin little strip, and I actually just cracked the front door when it gets really cold like that, and I just let the upstairs air just kind of vent out. Yeah. I struggle with humidity levels. My apartment's so dry. It's 30% on a good day. Yeah, I guess it's, you just gotta, yeah, it can be tough sometimes, but for the most part, like, I don't see my plants struggling. I know that if you have plants that love higher humidity and you have low humidity, it might not grow as fast just because the stomata on the back of the leaves, if they don't get the right conditions, like humidity and that kind of thing, they will close. So it might not be like photosynthesizing and all that kind of stuff. So you might see slower growth, but yeah, for the most part, like, all these plants can tolerate lower humidity, but obviously they will do well in high humidity, but I'm not going to sacrifice my house and the health of my family and that sort of thing just for my plants. So absolutely not. These guys can get all crispy. Ice issues on your windows. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people are having, like, I've seen TikTok videos of people having like frost on their bed frames and stuff like that. We don't have anything like that here, but just a little bit of condensation on the windows. But I know a lot of people are struggling with iced up windows and doors and stuff. That's crazy. Yeah. Greg, you're throwing me for a loop here. Seems like the kind of guy who owns a betta fish. No, I don't. I didn't know there was a certain person that has a betta fish. I don't. Keep curtains and blinds open. Airflow prevents condensation. Yep. If you can, just open a window or a door just a little bit. Like, it doesn't have to be, wide open or anything like that. Have you ever given one of your plants a little smooch? What is happening in the chat today? Merry Christmas from Winnipeg. Did you get all that snow, or it should be coming your way? We got dumped on last night, like 10, 15 centimeters, and I think it's just going straight east. So hopefully you guys don't get all the snow that we got. I was just out snow blowing this morning for like 2 hours. I need a nap now. I'm tired. Okay, I'm just going to soak this one. Just going to let it drain through. The chat is killing me. I know. some unique questions today, and I'm paying a little bit more attention to the chat. It's pretty funny today. Don't really, like I said, I don't really have a ton of plant chores, but I just wanted to come on here just to hang out with you guys and apparently chat about Big Macs and showering with your plants. If you missed all that, someone asked in the chat if I shower with my plants, and that was a hard no. Okay, just gonna let that soak through. I love this pot. Oops. There is probably about 15 or 20 of these Mexican pots at Winners right now. So, whoop. Ben and Greg are trolling. Yep. It's funny though. I laugh at these questions. North Carolina still thawing out. I think I read something, and again, it was on TikTok or Reddit or something like that. I think 90% of Canada and the US had freezing temperatures at some point, which is absolutely crazy. Like I was even watching Florida, it was getting a little bit of the blue and kind of dipping down there. So that's crazy. I wish I lived in Florida. Live in the frozen prairies. It's a beautiful planter. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, John. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this drain here. This anthurium, I've actually had it on my heating pad for a while. So if you're trying to root a plant, try using a heating pad too. So that's actually the video that I have uploaded for, I think it's, like I said, in the first week of January. Did a little experiment with a heating pad just to see if it helped a plant root faster. And because I know a lot of people use these heating pads for like seed germination and stuff. So should I give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek with that? Are you guys interested in seeing that, the results with that? And I'll still upload the video, of course, but we didn't get as cold as many, but our wind chills got to -10 Fahrenheit. I don't even know what -10 Fahrenheit is. I think that's probably in the -20s, I would think, Celsius. Sneak peek. Tampa Bay. I'd go down to Tampa, hang out there for a while. That'd be awesome. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so I've been rooting these in water for about a month now. It'll be a month exactly tomorrow. Washington State, love your content so much. I see you here today. I'm stuck home with pneumonia. Welcome. It sucks to hear that you're not feeling good. We were just at the beginning of the live stream, or I like to call it podcast. It looked like a lot of people were dealing with sickness, and there's at home for Christmas with COVID and all that kind of stuff. And I was just saying I had COVID a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so not a fun time. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you're feeling better soon. It's not fun being sick over Christmas, that's for sure. Root my pothos in fish tank water. Oh, you have a betta fish. I actually did a fish tank. I have a fish. It's a goldfish. That's actually not mine, it's my son's. But I did do a pothos experiment with fish water a little while ago, and that was a pretty cool one. So I did label the containers. This is the heat mat, and this one has received no heat. So all I did, they haven't been fertilized or anything like that. All I did was just kind of top up the water as it needed. And the heated cuttings, like I said, I know people use this for seed germination, but I've never really seen anyone do any experiments or like have anything on YouTube about like water propagated plants. Okay, so here are the water heated propagations. Look at that root. And I'm just going to show you. It outperformed it. Like, these roots are like 3 times larger than the unheated ones. Here's the heated, and all the heated cuttings actually have new growth as well. So that is pretty crazy. So all these roots, I'm definitely going to be rooting my water propagated plants on a heat mat now. I didn't think it would be that drastic of a difference. I thought it would be fairly comparable results, but all the just straight water ones, like, they're good, but definitely not as long as the heated ones. And there's barely any new growth on any of the cuttings. See if I can get that in. So yeah, all of these water heated ones, they all have new growth. See right there, there's a new growth point. So I thought that was pretty crazy. So make sure you go watch that video when it comes out, even though I just showed you everything. But we have 77 people watching. Thanks for joining today, guys. And how long have, oh, we've almost been an hour already. That's crazy. Okay, losing track of the chat here. I'm going to show you some of my perlite prop box stuff. This is my, I got some anthuriums, some alocasias, and I got that Epiprenum pinnatum yellow flame in there as well. So I want to do that before I end the chat, or in the live stream here. Christmas quarantine live stream podcast. Are you sick as well? Stephanie sent that. Somebody needs a caffeine IV. Yeah, the heat. Carol Stuff says the heat mat worked great for cuttings. It did. I was actually really surprised. Like I said, I thought it was going to be pretty comparable. Maybe a slight increase in like the root development, but I didn't think it would be that dramatic. Like 3 times the size of the just straight water propagated ones. So you grow plants outdoors for spring. I don't really take my like indoor plants outside. Just like I said, for the last couple of years, thrips have just been crazy here. So I don't bring them out and then bring them back in. But you still get thrips and bugs when you have like the doors and windows open. They just blow in, or they come in on your clothes. Same with spider mites, they just blow in. So I typically don't take them outside. But this year I planted those alocasia bulbs. Just I think I had maybe 5 or 6 that I had outdoors, and then I chopped them down and I put the bulbs in the basement here. I love your research. Yeah, that's one thing I like about making these videos, is just seeing how plants grow and learning how they grow. And with jade plants, you can manipulate how a stem branches out in a certain way. So it's neat, not only just learning how to like make them grow in your house, or make them thrive in your house, but learning how they grow. And if you chop the top off a ficus elastica, then it could branch out. So that's what I did with my one of my ficus elasticas. I cut the top off because I've previously pruned it and it got 1 branch, but I wanted multiple. So I did it again this winter here. I do have that on my Instagram reel. I chopped the top off. I basically went 1 node down, chopped it off, and now it's branching in 3 areas, which is pretty cool because it's under a Soltech grow light, and it's getting a lot of light. I'm still fertilizing it, and it's getting some branches. So I love doing those types of videos. Sometimes it can be tough because you'll start a video. So yeah, this has been ongoing for a month, and when I make videos, I want to get them out right away. So I'll film a video and then I'll edit, and it'll pretty much be uploaded the next day, kind of thing. Whereas if you do these experiments, it can take some time, and I'm not really a very organized person when it comes to like uploading files on my computer. So sometimes things get or have gotten deleted, and then I kind of lose all that video footage. But this one I've made separate files. I'm trying to do a little bit, be a little bit more organized with my video files, and trying to do more of these like kind of long-term experiments. Bottom heat propagation stimulates the roots to be prioritized over the leaves. Interesting. I know there's like if your overall temperature is too low, then that slows growth as well. So, you know, most times regular house temperatures between whatever, you know, like the 18, 17, up to like 22 degrees Celsius. Those are kind of the normal ranges for temperatures. Then those will typically do fine. But if they go into lower temperatures, then you might have a little bit more of a tough time getting things to root or to push out new growth. Be successful with alocasias. I do have a number of them downstairs here. I do have an alocasia specific video. I don't know how far back it is, maybe 3 or 4 months. I made one with all my alocasias. I wish I could kind of go in and give you a link, but just go back and search that if you're interested in seeing my alocasias. I will get to this prop box here in a second. I'm just trying to catch up into the chat here. Heat mats. Yeah, I actually, the heat mat that I got, I was messaged by a good plant friend, and she said she was doing an order and she didn't need 2 or however many she ordered. And I said I would definitely take one. So I think I paid like $20 for it. And it's awesome. So far, like I've been rooting these plants on the heat mat. And then I have, I do have a Monstera tie. I bought a tie, so that's on there. I'm hoping that it stimulates more root growth so that I can push out some leaves here soon. But yeah, I love that heat mat. So far, it's done really good. Carol stuff, I'll watch that video. Awesome. All of Vermont got hit by that storm. A lot of people are without power right now. That's crazy. I hope you guys get your power back. And yeah, this storm can, all that cold air can move out of here. Need some warmer temperatures again just to get outside and go for walks and that sort of thing. So, okay, I'm going to show some of the prop box stuff here. Thanks for sticking around for so long too. It's over an hour already and we still have like 70 people. And I really haven't done any plant stuff. I've just been chatting with you guys. Put this. Okay, here is one of the chunks from the Anthurium regale. So I basically just sliced it up like a little patty, and it got this leaf fairly quick, and it didn't have any roots. It just pushed out this root maybe within the last like month or two. And you can see right here, this is the like that little growing eye. I sliced right through it, and it's pushing out an entirely new stem, and it's given me this one leaf. It looks like it's starting to produce another leaf here as well. So I've got one thick root on that. So my plan is to maybe just slice this off at the bottom portion of the stem right there, and then I can pot this up at some point. But I'm wondering if I chop it there, if it'll regrow another stem. So again, I've never done this before, so it's just a learning curve for me. I was actually quite terrified when I first chopped this up because I was like, I didn't know if I was going to kill these or if these would just rot really quick. Here's another one. It's not really doing anything. It's maybe getting some either a root like the other. I just gave one of these away the other day, but you can see, I believe that's a growing eye right there, and I think I sliced through that. Something, I think it's going to be a root is popping through there. So I'm going to keep this in the prop box until it does something, and if it rots, then it rots. Okay, so here's what I got in my prop box right now. Obviously, these are the anthuriums. So I got some alocasia corms in here. All of these are black velvet alocasias. I got 2 Friedex up here, and I think that's it. This is a Baltic blue pothos, or Baltic blue epiprenum. It's rooting in here as well. And then here's the yellow flames. These ones are awesome. So I'm going to take a couple of these. It has a small root, but that's okay. But they're all getting new growth, and some actually have new little leaves forming already. I don't know if you can see it, but so yeah, there's a little leaf popping through, and then this one right here. So these are the ones that I'll probably be putting in the pot. So it's got the tiniest little leaf, and it's got, I don't know, maybe like an inch for roots. So, but these leaves are gorgeous. I bought like 1 stem cutting, and then as soon as I brought it home, I just chopped it up and put it in perlite. So Ty loves the heat mat. It's got 2 new leaves since. Awesome. So okay, I have mine on the heat mat, and then I have the mother plant spectrum grow light right in front of it. So yeah, if you've who said that? Susan, if you're thinking of getting a heat mat, well worth it. I've had mine for probably about a year now. It was actually just tucked away in my table here for quite some time, and then I just I can't remember what I was rooting, but I had a couple plants rooting on there, and then I just tossed it on the heat mat, and yeah, these perlite props, they just took off. Someone is loving the prop box. Thank you. Oh, and I forgot. I have a bunch of wet sticks in here. These are all philodendron melanochrysums. I bought a plant, and it had like 1 giant stem. It had a bunch of nodes, and it's actually getting some new growth already. So I have probably maybe 5 or 6 melanochrysums in there, and then I have, oh, I can't remember what the name of this is. I chopped another anthurium. Oh, this is the Quera malens, and it's getting a new growth point there as well. So I think I have 3. And did I say alocasia? I think I said alocasia. The anthurium Quera malens. This thing gets massive leaves. It's getting a new growth point there. So the one I had, I bought it, and it was really tall, and it had a couple of leaves that as soon as I brought it into my basement here, they got crunchy. So I cut them all off, and then it was just one kind of weird, awkward stem. So I cut it up. I have that one. The rooted portion, it's still in the pot. And that one's getting some new growth as well. But here's the top cutting, and it's getting some growth there as well. I think that's all I have in this. Oh, I have some Aglaonema pictum tricolor sticks. I have 3 of those in there. See if I can get those to root and get some new plants out of those. So that's what's in this prop box. A glorious. Okay, I'm just going to go back in the chat here. We have a generator. Tea Time Plant says I did good with that regale. Thank you. I was really surprised to see this this new leaf grow. Like, it's absolutely perfect. So I don't want to take it out of the prop box because the humidity and all the conditions are just perfect. I have this one upstairs in my living room. It's been sitting on the floor for a couple years. I haven't moved my prop boxes, and it gets a lot of bright light, but nothing that'll burn the leaves. The heat mat. Can someone explain a heat mat? It is, you do plug it in. So you plug it in, and it just provides, I don't even know how hot it would get. Like, you can put your hand on it for sure. It's not going to burn or anything like that, but it just, over time, it kind of heats up the bottom of the pot, heats up the soil, and obviously the roots, they like that heat. Just killed a Thai. Oh no, Tea Time Plants just killed a Thai. What happened to yours? I'm so scared I'm losing 1 leaf, but I know it's still doing okay. It's on the heat mat. this is how mine looks. So I got one beautiful leaf, and it looks like it's starting to just split on the stem a little bit. So I'm hoping it's going to put out a leaf. This one's been yellow for a little while now. The stem is nice, so it should get some nice variegation on there. But what happened to yours? You ever thought of putting the prop box on the heat pad? Yeah, it would probably do really well if I put it on the heat pad. I have two of these smaller prop boxes, so I might actually bring one downstairs. It's another good experiment. Try that heat mat. Oh, that makes me so sad that you killed a tie. They're not cheap. They're coming down in price for sure. Like these smaller ones, I think you can find for like probably $100, $120 now. But they're small, but I'm happy about this one. The other Monstera that I want is the Monstera aurea, and there's one on Facebook Marketplace for like $600. That's crazy. I don't have that kind of money, and I wouldn't spend that on a plant, that's for sure. Do I poke holes? In my prop box, no, I don't. So this is completely sealed, and I don't even have to water it that often. So I never have any standing water like at the bottom of the container. If I notice it's getting a little bit dry, so if there's no condensation on the sides or the top, then I just used a misting bottle and I will lightly mist it and then put the top back on. And as it heats up, then you'll get the condensation on the sides again. But no standing water in the bottom, and I don't have any holes on the top. I will open it up for maybe like 5-10 minutes. I guess whenever I want to take a look at the cuttings. But I read, or I saw a comment in here asking if I have ever had any rot issues with my prop boxes or mold. The only plant that I've not been successful at with propagating and it has rotted is the Philodendron Golden Goddess, like one of those big box store Golden Goddess plants. That one I can't root. It hasn't rooted in water. It doesn't root in perlite. That's the only one that's ever rotted for me. Otherwise, I haven't really had like too many plants rotting in here. Like I said, just open it up every once in a while, let it air out, get some fresh air. But this one doesn't even have like much green like algae on it either. Like maybe just a little bit on the side. But this has been pretty well like a maintenance-free propagation method. Sub water vodka in where? Oh, in here. Water. I forgot about it. I had that. Someone said they want a glorious. I have one in my quarantine bathroom. I'll show you. Oh, I got one other plant to show you guys. It hasn't been on my channel very much. This one, it was getting a new leaf when I was bringing it home, and it's so here, like it's looking a little bit rougher, but the leaf is going to be all messed up. So that leaf is going to be a loss. This one I'm just trying to acclimate, but you can see the Philodendron glorious is a combination between the gloriosum and the melanochrysum. So yeah, this one's currently in the quarantine bathroom. Okay, now Merry Christmas from Florida. Freezing down there. Watching football, go Dolphins. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys get back to your regular weather. I'm jealous of your nice weather kind of year round, but thank you for the holiday video. Thanks for joining, Lance. Okay, I'm gonna pick a couple of these yellow flame epipremnums out. Some with larger roots. This one's got a small root. Still have 64 people. Let me know down in the comments or in the chat here if you want to see any type of plant or you want to see an update. I think I'm only going to plant or pot up 2 cuttings. It's going to take some time before they start growing up the plank, but I'm going to pot them up in some soil with a plank. And like I said, I'm going to take the silver sword off the plank because I don't have patience for it anymore. So I think I'm going to use these 2. One's got a new leaf, and then it's got some smaller roots, but I'm going to leave the rest in the prop box here. And then here's the silver sword. Not looking the greatest. And then its new leaf is just coming in a little bit deformed, and then these lower leaves here. This one just really hasn't done well on the plank. So it may, well, it probably will do better on like a moss pole. Because of you, I bought a fuzzy petiole. I'm sorry, I'm a bad influence with plants, but that's a cool one. Mine, I had a larger fuzzy petiole, and it was kind of like it had like multiple stems in that container, and then it kind of got a little bit floppy. So I actually like took a bunch of propagations, I chopped it up, and some of them didn't do well. I do have a container that's doing fine. It's finally getting some new growth, but it's definitely taken some time. So all I'm doing with this is I'm just stealing the plank. So this has been in here for quite a while, and I know a lot of people are concerned about rotting wood if you put it right in the container. And this is pine, probably the worst wood you can use for planks. And there's no rot. It's not moldy or anything like that. So it's been in here for a while. I haven't had any issues with rotting wood. So it's probably going to outgrow the plank before the plank actually rots. So if you're worried about rot, don't. I do have a couple on cedar planks. That's, I guess cedar is a little bit more rot resistant and that kind of thing. These are just pine bed slats. This is from my kid's bunk bed. I just had a bunch of these laying around, and I thought I'd stick a bunch of plants on these wood planks. So I just kind of repurposed it, and if it rotted or if it didn't work, then not a big deal. But they've actually done quite well with pothos and syngonium. They've done really well. So that's why I'm going to be putting these epipremnum on there, getting rid of this guy. I might actually propagate this at some point. I'm not going to do it today. I have too much other stuff that I got to get done, but I'll propagate these nodes at some point. Do I have any problems with pests at the moment? I don't actually. I just finished a round of beneficial bugs, so I've had all those packs on there, and I haven't really seen anything. So I do spray off my plants a lot, so I feel like that is a good pest deterrent as well. I'll just spray them off. I'm struggling. How often do you water your Hoya? I've been struggling with mine and have killed a few. Now I'm scared to touch the rest of mine. I kind of neglect my Hoyas. I have one back here. So I kind of treat them more like, oh, please don't pull anything off. I kind of treat them like a succulent. So there are some types of Hoyas out there that have thicker leaves, and I just pay attention to the leaves. So I'll just feel them. If they feel like, you know, a little bit plump and firm, then they don't need water. But if they feel, you'll definitely notice when they need water. Like they'll feel thinner, and yeah, they'll feel dehydrated, and you might be able to bend them a little bit, whereas they're pretty firm. So just like a jade plant, you shouldn't be able to bend or fold a jade leaf, and if it does, then it probably needs water. So that's how I tell when mine need water. And so I'll let it come out the bottom of the drain hole, and then I'll let it get absolutely bone dry again. And that's actually a little trick to getting your Hoyas to flower as well. Just stress them out. So if you water like maybe once, no, this is hitting me. If you water your Hoyas maybe like once every 2 weeks, or say like once every 10 days, maybe bump it back a few extra days, let them get a little bit drier. And then you can even add a little bit more light just to kind of stress them out, and kind of sends them into panic mode, and they tend to flower if you just stress them out a little bit more. Teleka, interesting. I know a lot of people use leca, but I only have one plant in there right now, and it's the orbifolia. And I don't really care for leca, but that's just my opinion of it. But apparently it does. A lot of people, well, losing track here, losing my thought. I know a lot of people like leca. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to grab my pot for these two cuttings. And then I'm going to put, I had a pot set aside. Now, where did I put it? Well, it's right here. So I'm going to put the plank in first. Okay, I'm just going to empty this water here. Okay, sorry, coming back. Just need this tray here. Okay. So I'm just putting the plank in the pot, like at the very bottom, and then I'm just going to add some soil. Just in the bottom here. Where's my little cup? Pond. Interesting. The one annoying thing with leca that I found is you have the little leca balls falling out all the time. Like whenever you do a repot, you just, yeah, they're constantly falling in, you know, rolling off the table and rolling onto the floor. Who scared me off? Are you talking about leca? I don't know. Pond for Hoyas. Interesting. Okay, I just want this board to be standing upright. All right, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any of the chats here. Okay, so now I'm just looking for the aerial root on the, I guess, the node here. So I have a, what is it? Which plant was it? The Hawaiian golden pothos. I planted these cuttings backwards. So yeah, it kind of twisted around. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, but you want to make sure that, well, of course, obviously, these aerial roots are pointing towards or kind of up against the back of the plank. So I'm going to put that fairly close, and I'm going to have this new leaf starting to grow upright like that. And same with this one. So the new growth, I'm going to put that little root down there. Aerial roots. I just want that new growth point to be growing upright. And then I'll just cover. See, I want to, I'm going to put it like this. Kevin from Hakuna La Planta grows most soys and pond or leca. He does really well. He's obviously perfected that that method for sure. He's got some very impressive plants. Just imagine my cat finding leca at 2 a.m. I guess if you have small kids too, like I'd be worried you'd be eating a little, I think they're pieces of candy or something. It says my Hoya is in soil, but it's in terracotta. That's another good point. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. I have most of mine in terracotta as well. It's just, it allows them to dry out. Hoyas have really like thin, small roots, so it's nice. Yeah, just to allow them to dry out. Okay, I'm just losing my train of thought here. Just gonna water this, and then I'm gonna show you guys one other plant here, and then I think that's gonna be pretty much it. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day? Are you guys doing Christmas dinner, supper, or like a lot of you staying in bed because of sickness and COVID and all that kind of stuff? Pat, Merry Christmas. Family supper late this evening. Awesome. Are you guys having turkey? Glazed ceramic. They grow like wild. I talk to Chris on Instagram every once in a while, but he's got a really impressive plank wall where all his plants, I think he's like a Cebu blue, and a bunch of other plants. What do you have on your plank wall again, Chris? Super impressive setup. I'm actually quite jealous of that. He's added the planks onto his wall, like they're fairly wide planks, and then there's basically like little plant trays where he sets a pot on, and it's the whole wall is a plank wall. It's super impressive, and they grow like crazy. Staying in bed watching plant videos, no plans. It's a quiet, well, I was planning on having a quiet day here, but I've been shoveling all of my, or using the snowblower for all the snow that we got. So I haven't really had the time to just sit back and relax. I don't even think I drank my cup of coffee yet. It's still got a half a cup up there, but I got to finish up the turkey stuff today. Yeah, and then I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. Your dog got into some CBD treats. He's tired. Okay. Pat, he just bought some planks. There. Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve for these planks as well. Some plants have not done well on them, and I've actually moved a few over to some moss poles. I'll be quite honest, I don't like these moss poles, like the circular ones. I like the plastic ones that have a closed back and then an open front for the aerial roots. I think at some point, like once these plants like climb up to the top, I'm going to chop them up and put them on a different type of moss pole. It's too messy and it dries out so fast on these like circular ones like this. These ones here I made out of like chicken wire and moss, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's just I'll have to switch them out to those plastic ones, which they're much better. Where is it? My little philodendron Tahiti. These are the ones I like. They're much easier to maintain, and you can see there's a bunch of roots at the back here, which is nice. Quiet Christmas. Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet Christmas here as well, which I'm okay with. We have a really small family. I'm not used to, like, you know, full houses of people. Yeah, giving up on keeping my moss pole wet. Like I have to keep it. I have to keep mine damp like every day. Like I come down here with my little spray wand, and I did use actually a soy sauce bottle, just because the top cap, it actually when you tip it upside down, the liquid just doesn't run out. It's actually just a slow drip. So I was putting that on top of the moss poles and letting it slowly drip down, but I have to go back and forth to fill up that bottle. It just kind of got annoying. So I think I'm going to switch it out to those plastic moss poles. I just like the way they look as well. So I haven't given up on moss. I know these philodendrons, they do much better on moss than they do on the plank. Like I said, pothos and syngoniums, they do well on the planks. RH, thank you for the chat, Jeff. I assume you're taking off. Thanks for joining I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me today on Christmas. Okay, okay, so this, yeah, that's all I do. As it starts to grow up, then I'm going to use these plant ties, but I'm not going to use any supports or anything right now. Oh, I know Chris mentioned, oh, here he is. He's got the Cebu, Siltepecana, and Sonia. Oh, is Micans. That's the one. He has some pretty impressive plants on those planks. I just got this little notification saying your protection is expired. So I'm just trying to get rid of that because it's blocking my chat right now. This computer's brutal. Okay, there, finally it's gone. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Are you just coming? You joining the chat. Welcome. Merry Christmas. I'm just finishing up my couple little plant chores that I had to do. Only waters the poles, he plunks. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time for that. I don't know if he's got like a lot of time to just go around his house and water his plants, but I try and do it as quick as I can, I guess, because yeah, I got kids and jobs, and I got, like today it was snow blowing, so I'm still here. Hey Kim, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining the chat. Did I grow that 2x4? Nope, did not. Now I'm gonna put this on the plank. Oh, hit my light. Let's join in the plank wall. And then here, I'm gonna show my Cebu Blue quick. This one is done really good on the plank. So you can see how small like the initial leaves are, or they were. And then as it grows, like look at this one. This one's awesome. I wish I could get it closer. I just don't want to bang the pot, but it's sizing up really nice. So I got a number of cuttings in here. And when it outgrows a plank, I might attach another plank on there, or I might do like an air layering method and then just take the top cutting, put it in an entirely new pot, let it continue to grow, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with these. So here's one successful one. And my Marble Queen has gotten another new leaf, and it's huge. I love this. This is probably my favorite plank right now. So the original leaves, that size, look at this beast right up here, and that one, and it's already getting a new leaf. This one just spits out leaves constantly, but I don't know if you can see it or not, but look at all these aerial roots. They're like little caterpillar feet, and they just grip onto the plank. This one's done so well. I've only had to, oh, I just hit my light again. I've only had to add a plant tie at the bottom, and it's trained itself to grow up on the plank. So I have not had it secured except for just at the bottom, but this is probably one of my favorite plants right now. Stephanie, Merry Christmas. Thanks for the live. I gotta go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Another little super chat. I didn't even know these existed until a couple of weeks ago. Someone mentioned to turn it on, so I did it. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much. I just got here. Cosmic Turtle. Merry Christmas from BC. Are you guys all dug out from the snow that you guys got? It's absolutely crazy. We just got like 10, 15 centimeters last night, but I know you guys just got walloped in BC with some snow. Those leaves are crazy. I know. I love it. This was just a small little propagated cutting from one of my Marble Queens upstairs, and this thing is just taken off. So I'll show another photos here in a second. Waters twice a week with water bottles. I'm still learning, like from the planks and the moss poles and stuff, where I think he's had probably a few years to learn from them. So I know. It says you're going to love the pothos in Mexico. The resort had them everywhere, and they were huge climbing up trees. I'm so excited to see all those tropical plants again. We try and go away on a family vacation every year, but obviously Haven't been able to for the last 3 years, just COVID and all that. But we see your plant room someday. This plant room, I have plants kind of all over my house. So I have a bunch upstairs and I have a bunch downstairs. I have many videos on all of my plants down here, but I am still planning on doing a plant tour, like my whole house, doing a plant tour type thing. So yeah, I love these planks. Really easy. Like I said, specifically for these pothos and syngoniums. And the Okanagan didn't get much snow, but I can't wait for spring. I'm already sick of the cold weather and the in the snow. Okay, I'm going to show you my golden Hawaiian pothos. This is the one that I potted up kind of backwards, and now it's I've taped it up, and now it's growing as it should. So here's my golden pothos. So I guess the reason why I potted it backwards, I wasn't really paying attention, I don't think, and it was a smaller cutting. And when I put it on or in the soil, I couldn't see the stem itself. And just as it grew up, these aerial roots were facing the wrong way, and it's actually been trying to twist around. So I helped it along, and I added some tape up there, and now it's growing quite nice. And this is the newest leaf. So this is a beautiful plant. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try and bring in one large plant here. And then I think that'll be it for the chat or the stream. I'm hoping I can get it in here all the way. Make sure it goes the right way. Oh, this is my Ficus Alaska Melanie, and I put in some syngonium cuttings. I can't remember when. It's probably been a year, and they're now growing up into the tree. I just have them secured on the main stem here, and I love how it looks because this whole bottom area was just bare before. But these are literally just the the $5 cheap ones you can buy at Home Depot, and I put a few cuttings in there, and it's just filling in, I think, quite beautifully. I love how it's growing up, and just like this one right here, it's just peeking up through the leaves here. I don't know. I think it makes it look, I don't know, better. Just it's not as bare right here. I just love it. I don't think it's attached to this stem there, but they are definitely kind of snaking up in between the branches here. I have to secure these ones. This one's just growing along the bottom of the pot here, but yeah, I hope it just fills out this pot with these syngoniums. I'm trying to read the chat here as well, but I'm blocked. Do you have any plant chore videos you're doing in the future? I haven't done any, like I said, just because I was sick for a few weeks. So I haven't really had the chance to, or the energy to do any plant chores or filming for that fact. But I do plan on doing some of that in the future here. I'll get back to like watering videos and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll have to start planning some videos here, but I just have that pothos experiment video coming up, which I'll upload here soon. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to get done for today. I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. I got some chores and stuff to do upstairs, and I'll probably have to go out and shovel a little bit more. So I think I'm going to end the live stream with that, unless you guys have any other questions or anything like that. I really appreciate all of you guys joining me on Christmas Day here. Like I said, sometimes maybe you just need a break from everyone, or sometimes these can be a little bit of a tough time for a lot of people. So I thought I'd just pop on here today just to, yeah, get your mind off things, talk about some plants. I'll show you some stuff. So thanks so much for joining the live stream. Again, I'm going to call it a podcast. The pencil, I've had this for a while. I don't know if this is the original one. I have some replacements. I have some stand-ins. I don't even know where they are, but this is the little one today. Thanks for the live stream. Merry Christmas. Thanks for the live stream. Sorry it was late. Hey, I'm glad you guys could join. I enjoy these live streams. It's yeah, they're fun. They're fun to do just because I can interact with you guys. You can ask questions, and yeah, it was definitely a little bit nerve-wracking at first when I did my first live stream, but I really enjoy this type of content. So I will definitely be hanging. I was just reading Chris's. I'll definitely be making more of this type of content in the future. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm going to end the stream. Thanks. I can't talk anymore. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Christmas, whatever it is you're doing. If you want to chat more, feel free to message me on Instagram. I'm always available if you just need like a plant question, or if you want to chat about plants or anything like that. I'm always available there as well. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys. I'll be at work tomorrow, but next week when on my days off, I'll be starting to come up with some video ideas for some new videos. So if you have any ideas, send them on Instagram. I typically check my Instagram quite often. So if you have any video ideas that you want to see, just fire them off on my Instagram account. But otherwise, words are hard. Some days they are. Like if you see some of the content, like when I'm filming, a lot of the stuff that I have to edit out, I just laugh at myself sometimes when I'm editing. I can't believe I say some of the things that I do, and yeah, it's quite funny editing. So maybe I'll make a funny like editing reel or something in the future, but it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. A bloopers video. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to. Sometimes I get a little not upset, but it won't be rated for ads. I guess sometimes it can be pretty frustrating. Okay. Well, again, thanks for joining, guys. Have a good rest of your Christmas. Merry Christmas, and I'll be uploading some videos soon. So take care. Bye.